you guys feeling going into finals? Any disappointment with where you ended up on the ladder, or?
We knew about round 4 or 5. We lost 4 games in a row that we were never going to finish in the top 3. And as all the other coaches mentioned, it's just the top 6 or maybe the bottom 4 have been real close. I think we've nearly won a game each between a lot of us. So we sort of set ourselves for it. It would have been great to finish top 2, top 3, you know, but since round 5 was sort of impossible. So.
But since then, you guys obviously have like a lot more momentum since earlier in the season. How are you feeling now coming in? Who's been stepping up for you guys?
Look, we're feeling pretty good at the moment. You know, we got touched up by Sunbury and Darley a couple of weeks ago. We played a real good second half against Mountain South and Mountain South. We've been leading, you know, playing different players in different roles. You know, our midfield's been really good on the weekend, and that's what we need against, you know, against Darley to be playing strong for us. And you know, they're primarily our better players too in the midfield, so we need a big game for those blokes. You know, it's their got the experience of finals last year. We played 3 finals last year, which would have been most, you know, most of the boys have played our team, so it was a really good experience from last year. So we're similar to what Rick was saying, that we'll take that in this game against Darley at Darley.
And that's what I was going to say. So we're coming in from finals last year. How do you think, you know, that's going to help you guys this year?
Well, you know, I think last year a lot of the boys, especially our younger boys, were sort of wrapped just to make finals last year. It was their first time ever since juniors. So this year, and the disappointment of losing last year in the preliminary final at Darley really hurt the boys, and there was a bit of motivation early for stage 1 of pre-season before Christmas, but since then it's, you know, new year, we start again. But the boys have a real, you know, drive at the moment to continue and you know, go as far as we can.
So any changes to the team this week?
There will be a couple of changes this week. We have a couple of fitness tests, which one will be done Saturday morning, but yeah, just some wait and see. So how we go.
So you think if it's good weather, it's going to help you guys as well? Or?
Well, it's great. We played Mount South on the weekend on a dry ground after a month in the mud. So you know, we're probably a running team, so it definitely suits us, especially down there. It's a nice ground down there and some open space.
Dustin, what have you guys been concentrating on? Obviously playing against Darley, coming off a bit of a loss, but what are you guys concentrating on for them? Who have you got to mark? Yeah,
we played Darley early in the year down at Darley around about 8 or something like that, you know, and had a win down there. But we played them at our ground 2 weeks ago, and then just they're key players, you know, Jake and Jared Edwards and Porter and those players really stood up. You know, they're money men and they need to keep. They played very well against us, so we've done a bit of work on those blokes, but you know, it's an even spread, 22 and 22, so to make sure, you know, Mins and, you know, young English boys don't get in our skin and kick goals and hurt us that way, you know, and Guerra and those sort of players. So it's an even spread, but obviously they're class players, stood up and going to be counted. You know, we played them 2 goals to 4 going in the last quarter. Jake Evans had 12 touches, kicked 3 goals in the last quarter against us, so he's one that's been top of the list at the moment for sure.
I think that the only time a team outside of the top 3 has actually gone on to win the premiership is when 3rd has upset 6th in the other elimination final. Do you also need Ballarat to win this weekend as well as yourself in order to win a premiership, do you feel?
Doesn't make any difference at the moment, Gavin. Unless they're giving the premiership cup out Saturday, you'll have a crack, but it's just going to win this week and we're going from there. It doesn't look like we have to win every final we play in, you know, and it's not going to make much difference, mate.
Who'll be your number 1 ruckman on Sunday?
Josh McDermott.
Well, is Tristan Cartledge going to play?
Fitness test Saturday morning.
Okay. And finally, I know it's not for the right reasons, but how's the week off helped Aidan George or not helped Aidan George in that regard?
He's on the phone to me every 10 minutes, pal, so he's pretty keen to play. Look, he actually hurt his quad against Sunbury down there and got reported as being for striking. Yep. But he's a very important player to our structure, and he's just a good player around the team. So he's like trying to do everything right to get right for this week.
So the week off's probably.
So his week off's helped him immensely. Yeah.
Yep. Thank you.
Okay, all right.
It's probably obviously the obvious question, but how does it feel going from the wooden spoon up to 4th down?
Yeah, well, it's first year in the competition for me as a coach, so I haven't got a lot to reflect back on, but obviously the club bottomed out for a number of reasons last year, so it's been a real rebuild. You know, we've tried to work from the top down, and that's not to say there's still a lot more issues to be addressed within our club. Our under 18 sort of system's been pretty weak this year, so at least we've taken the first step forward to progressing the club.
And what kind of momentum are you going in? Obviously it was a really close one. For up to 3 good time, it was a really close one last week. What are you guys taking in from that game that you want to kind of improve this week?
Yeah, look, having the bye so late in the season, we thought it was going to be a real asset to us because we've been up for basically 9 weeks, and we were looking forward to that bye to sort of reinvigorate mentally and physically, but as it panned out, it didn't really turn out that way. It's always hard to kickstart after a bye, but we had the selection dilemma of bringing in Travis Minns, Drew Edwards, who'd come off a 5-week suspension, plus another week in between, filled time with that, and also Brad Inglis, a centreman. So we thought we had to go that way at selection. We needed to inject a game into them prior to the finals, and they were all underdone on the weekend. So hopefully they'll benefit from the journey, as they say in racing.
And so they'll all play this week as well?
Yeah, they'll all play this week, yeah.
Any other big ins or outs?
No, not really. As I say, under 18s have dropped out, so we've got a few guys that have been around the Western Jets system that we may have a look at for the experience in a final. But yeah, we've got the extra day, which will be really important for us to get up because East Point served it up to us a little bit physically on the weekend. And as I said to the boys, if you're 10% off, you know, instead of being the intimidator, you get intimidated and you tend to be on the wrong end of the injury count. And, you know, we experienced a bit of soreness from the game on the weekend.
Going in with any confidence as well after the last time you played North Ballarat, you guys played pretty well and beat them in that one?
Yeah, we did play well, so you know that gives a certain amount of self-belief. But as every coach has said up here in the sudden death finals, it means nothing. You know, I mean, it's about being on the day. Each of the coaches up here said how even the top 6 has been. I've been asked during the week from the press who's a standout favourite, and I don't think there is one. So there really is. Yeah, it's open for everyone on the week, you know, over the next couple of weeks.
How much of a setback was last week for your campaign, do you feel?
Oh, look, yeah. I mean, to finish 3rd and play 6 is obviously an advantage in terms of ladder positions, but a sudden death final is a sudden death final. So, in saying that, it's it's a small. I wouldn't call it a setback. I mean, we've still got a home final. It's a big progression for the footy club to be participating in the finals, but you know we need to win a final to really take away something from the season.
Although your form away from home has been as good as your form at home this season, is there any reason for that, do you feel?
No, that's again, being first year in the competition, it's been a bit of an enigma to me. But in saying that, a lot of our poor form at home was in the first third of the season, so I think we've generally redressed that in the back half of the season.
How good is the nick in the? How good is the ground in terms of what sort of nick is it in at the moment?
Look, there was a lot of junior games on it 2 weeks ago when we copped that bucketing where Bacchus Marsh's Mattingly Park was drowned out, so it took a bit of a pummeling there. The ground's bounced back really well with the combination of wind, sun and a little bit of rain over the last 10 days. But it's a hard and fast deck at the moment.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing from your team's point of view?
Oh, look, it's just a matter of playing to the conditions and having your speed and outside midfielders, I guess, on top of their game. We've got to counter North's marking power down forward. They've got generally at least 3 pillars that they can rotate through their forward line. So, we need to be on top of our game through the midfield, as all teams need to be, to make sure that they're not getting the sort of service they want in their forward half.
Who do you feel, from your point of view, needs to play well among your players if you're going to be victorious come Sunday night?
Look, I've been quoted all year that we're really a blue-collar team. We need to have everyone up. As soon as we've got 3 or 4 players who fall away from their effort, we haven't got the luxury with our personnel to mix it with the really top teams. And I think North City, everyone knows, have had the capacity to be in the top three all year. So we just need that even spread of performance.
Thank you.
Talk us through that transformation. Like you struggled at the start of the year and become one of the form teams in competition towards the end there. What was behind that?
What was behind it? Well, look, I mean, the club had a massive amount of instability last year with the coach, deciding they're going to part company midway through the year. That's, I think, in reality, being around footy, when that happens from both sides of the equation, it really needs to be finished right there and then. The injuries, and once you lose that self-belief, a combination of injuries and the coach not progressing, so we felt we recruited okay, and we got some players back who we've got a little bit of a bond in the past history with Jared and Jake Edwards and Saul Grenfell and Dane and Brendan Porter have all grown up together and played us through their junior footy to a large degree together. So that was an asset. We've been able to bring up some young players underneath that leadership. We've got pretty good output from our top end players. Brendan Porter's come off a knee reconstruction. Jared Edwards has really had a wipeout 2 seasons as far as I know with injuries. Jake's been particularly good, and Brad Inglis, and that's allowed the young blokes to sort of thrive a little bit underneath.
You're up against one of the more well-resourced teams of the competition. Does that give you any motivation playing against that?
Oh yeah, look, it's always. In my history, I guess I go back to playing at the Bulldogs, where I've been involved with a lot of clubs who perceive to come from the wrong side of the tracks, I guess. So I don't mind that sort of status. It's always good to play against the teams from the other side of the tracks.
Thank you.